Yo! I just swallowed something. Yo, fine scouts and intrepid internet travelers, welcome to my channel. I'm Josh, your Binge Buffoon, if you will have me. Today, I'm going to be watching the first episode of Bridgerton Season 2, because I've already seen the first season. That's right! I hunt and eat what I kill. I don't, actually. I go to the grocery store. For those of you who are new to this channel, I am baiting you with the title of this video, I'm sure. I think I'm going to lean into the stereotype that men don't watch Bridgerton. They do, I'm sure. I'm sure they do. I did. I watched the first season, but I'll get to why I didn't continue in a minute. I will say that in the Midwest where I live, men do not watch this show. My sister watches this show, and all my female friends watch this show. That's a lie. I don't have any female friends. I've burnt all those bridges. I'm mostly just talking about... bridges, pun intended. I'm mostly just talking about my friends' wives and girlfriends. That's right, Julia. If you watch this, ever, probably not, you inspired this video. And I suspect that my mostly male audience at this point is going to see me post this and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Especially the Wire crowd. They're going to be like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Season 3 of The Wire is right there. And you're watching Bridgerton? Yeah, okay. I'm having fun. I think this will be fun. Because I really enjoyed Season 1 of Bridgerton when it came out in 2020. Julie Andrews' voiceovers and all. Julie Andrews has played a huge role in my life. The Sound of Music was my mom's favorite movie growing up. And she had it on all the time. That's a lie. It was my dad's favorite movie. I think my mom liked it. And then they got divorced, so it wasn't on as much anymore. So Julie Andrews' voice reminds me of a simpler... why can't I say simpler? A simpler, very dysfunctional and toxic time in my life. I didn't watch Season 2 of Bridgerton. Why didn't I watch Season 2 of Bridgerton? Oh, I heard that Regé-Jean-Page was leaving, and I thought, why bother? But people are still hooked on it now, so it must continue to be entertaining and sexy and fun. I don't remember anything that happened in Season 1. After I'm done recording this intro, I'm going to watch a recap video. I should say, I'm doing the first episode of Season 2. I'm not going to promise to do the entirety of Season 2 or to keep watching Bridgerton on this channel. I'm just playing it video by video, okay? I almost need to say that in every video now because I have ADHD and I want to do a bunch of different things and maybe I don't finish things. That's life. This is a hobby right now, basically. Reaction channel. Let's ride the coattails of other people's art. Was that snap? I feel like the snap wasn't as masculine as it usually is.
When Berbrugge accosts Daphne, the mysterious Simon Barrett, the Duke of Hastings, steps in to help her. They agree to fake a courtship with each other to stop their families from plotting further romances.
Okay, I totally forgot. It's not just fun. A lot of intense things happen. And I want to be clear. I take everything I watch seriously. I'm not going to just make fun of this show. Except for things like Simon being the king of the pullout. But he's not even in Season 2, so it doesn't matter. Alright, this is going to be one of those videos where I don't know if I'm equipped. I took in as much as I could from that. I almost should have rewatched Season 1, but I didn't, and that's going to piss off Bridgerton fans. I'm sorry. I don't have time to rewatch Bridgerton Season 1. Shout out Recap and Chill, by the way. That's whose video I was watching. That's the channel name. I don't want any trouble. Again, I'm sorry, Bridgerton fans. Penelope is Lady Whistledown. Some dude had a gambling problem. He's dead now. There's so many fucking Bridgertons. I'm gonna mess up names. Bear with me. There's 8 Bridgerton kids. One of my aunts has 7 children. I couldn't even name all of them right now. And the worst part about that is, all those kids, their first names begin with the letter J. I know no one's named Josh. That's my name. Real quick, again, and this is me just trying to make sure you take me seriously. When I was in high school, I was in detention a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. My senior year, what I did to pass the time was read Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Loved it. I love 19th century England as a setting, Regency and all that. So yeah, I do dig this. I am a romantic at heart. Okay, here we go. Also, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm just perpetually horny. You gotta pinch yourself a lot as a Scorpio. Anthony! That shot on the bee was kind of cool. Oh, Daphne is in this season.
Daphne, thank goodness you're here.
She's requested time.
We do realise I left my husband and child at home.
Right, they're just at home.
Anthony.
Anthony.
If one of you utters a single word.
You look good. Paul.
For someone fresh, someone unexpected, to turn this season on its head.
This season. It's like meta commentary, but it's not, you know.
We have heard nary a peep from Lady Whistledown since last season ended. Perhaps she realised taking on her queen was a bad idea, and she will never publish again.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Mr. Finch may very well still change his mind.
Particularly when he notices there is still no dowry.
How come we don't have dowries anymore? Nothing for the dude when you get married, really. Just kidding, there's eternal happiness. You don't die alone.
And your curtsy, dearest. Tell your sister how you manage such balance.
Simply locate a stationary object and keep your eyes set. You have natural gifts.
Do not patronize me and give me that.
My task this season cannot be exceptionally difficult. Hastings did it after all. How hard can it be? Tolerable, dutiful, suitable enough hips for childbearing.
Suitable enough hips for childbearing and half a brain. I feel like that's fair. I'm an ass man myself. Sorry, I'm being way too stereotypically douche-y. I'm not trying to lean into that.
Penelope, how many times must I warn you to be wary of that window? Do you wish to appear like a befreckled beggar spending all day in the sun?
Of course not, Mama. My apologies.
It's actually brilliant that she's Mrs. Whistledown, or Lady Whistledown, sorry. Writers are the ones who, like, lash out and get everything out on the page, because in real life they're sort of ignored. That's not true necessarily, but you know what I mean. It's an outlet for her to criticize everyone else as well. Those who criticize her.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh, new edition. And she's excited about, kinda.
But your majesty, there's still...
I have seen enough!
Best of luck to you, brother. You shall certainly need it this season.
Is that like the passing of the torch from Daphne to Anthony?
Did you miss me?
That's a nice intro. That's a cool intro. Or cold open, you know what I mean? That was cool. This is actually charming as fuck, isn't it? Until it's not. Shout out Julie Andrews, legend. Absolute fucking legend. I liked Princess Diaries too, I'm not gonna lie. I have sisters. I watched a bunch of stuff I pretend to have not seen. I've seen everything. Forget it. I watched The Notebook by myself forever. I'm sorry, I don't know why. I'm done with that whole I'm a man joke thing. Forget it.
This author was doing but one thing, honing my skill. Or should I say, hatching my plans? I was sharpening my knives.
That's a good sentence.
For all of you.
Yep, let's go.
Certainly not by herself. How could she?
I liked how that was filmed out of focus, because she was sort of, you know, they don't see her.
What my mistress wants, she gets. And for whatever reason, that would be you at the moment.
Change her accent.
Then my mistress thanks you for your services.
Wow, she's a master of disguise, kinda.
Seeking those answers shall prove fruitless indeed.
I am off to the market with my maid, Mama. I've just a tiny bit of pin money left on there.
You know what the truth is? Penelope's a sociopath.
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
I don't think she's very good.
I believe she can hear you.
Can hear you.
I've already compiled an index of the season's eligible misses and have arranged interviews.
Interviews.
Dearest, I shall be more than happy to give you my ring when you find someone with whom you are very much
Yeah.
in love.
He's being very secular and like methodical about all this, right? But he's gonna fall head over heels for somebody. It's all gonna change. Or maybe that'll be the struggle, him trying to be practical in the face of true love or something. I have to imagine whoever gets named the Diamond's like the most desirable woman, right, of the season. That'll be his boo.
Children? 4. Or 5, no, perhaps 6.
3 children is what I've always wanted, my lord.
What if, say, one of your daughters had a
Interviews.
penchant for overspending? How would you deal with that?
I don't know, I guess cut him off.
The harp is a wonderful instrument, my lord.
Oh no, he wants nothing to do with her.
Strength and an appreciation for beauty.
Do you read?
Books.
Oh god. How can you play the harp and not read books? Oh, he's still... Is this Anthony? I don't know who this is right now. Yeah, it is.
I'm fluent in French.
Oh, he's banging whores. This is just business. He's getting his sex elsewhere. It's not about love.
I can divide and multiply. I even construct my own hats.
This man's trying to build an empire. He doesn't give a shit about love. Just burning the candle at both ends to find the perfect wife. More or less. And he's, I guess, because he's, that might be his room. I was going to say maybe that's a house of ill repute. But because he's with the madames, he's thinking with his upstairs brain and not his downstairs brain at all.
Whoa there! Miss, are you in trouble?
Oh my god, this is going to be who he falls in love with. Classic. This is like what happened to Doc Brown in Back to the Future 3.
Emma Brown at your service, miss.
Oh my god, she's beautiful too. And the mist. The fog, we're riding through the fog too. This is so romantic.
Whoa there!
That's all he needed was to chase someone. Literally.
Perhaps we pretend this encounter never took place? You allow me to go my way and you go yours.
You worry about being seen, losing races to strange women in such parts at dawn. Can only imagine the questions I will be asked.
Is that what that was? A race?
Yeah, it didn't seem like a race at all.
You could say that if we had decided on a finish line together, but alas, we made no such agreement.
You chased her because you thought she was in trouble.
I have no difficulty in admitting that I've either lost or am in the wrong, though I'm afraid the same cannot be said for you.
I beg your pardon.
Mayfair is not right ahead, but it's the other way entirely.
Oh, she's hiding.
We've not yet been introduced!
She's a criminal. I don't know. I think, obviously I remember this, but I'm just going to reiterate. This show doesn't give a shit about historical accuracy, right? Obviously not. Not that I care, yeah.
Though I was expecting another.
Yes, my eldest, Kate.
Apologies.
Kate! There you are, dearie.
Oh, it's Kate! Of course it's Kate.
I'm here now. My eldest, Lady Danbury.
That's why she was
Miss
hiding.
Kate Sharma.
Mama tells us you host the first ball of every season, Lady Danbury.
Danbury's like the GOAT, right? She's the greatest wife of all time, right? Basically. The most powerful wife. Matron.
I have made all the arrangements. The pianoforte is tuned, the instructor's hired, dance lessons begin at noon, followed by a short but comprehensive visit from a lovely French tutor I have secured.
Kate's gonna reject a lot of this ceremony, right? She doesn't seem like she's one to conform. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she'll just do it, play the role.
As I assure you, I am not here to find a husband for myself, only for my sister, who indeed stands quite tall and smiles rather exquisitely.
She's a child. I know that's not uncommon, but so weird. Back then.
a woman of such grace and kindness. I'm sure we have much to learn from you, such as the preparation of this most excellent tea.
Oh my god, the patronizing is strong with this one.
My sister and I do look forward to your sponsorship this season.
Jesus, Kate's a wild one.
Private advice regarding the top 10 ways in which to entrap a man. I'm telling you, Pen, the season has barely begun and already I feel touched in the head. Another quill? You do get through them at an extraordinary rate.
I have been...
Yeah, Eloise doesn't know.
Colin has been keeping me informed of his adventures in Greece.
Oh, that's right. She carries a torch for Colin.
Her paper all morning, and in truth, all she does is repeat what she hears.
Someone must have got the gossip, and does she not have a way with words?
Yes, but what is she saying with those words?
This is true. Whistledown is essentially TMZ. Well, she's better than that, but you know what I mean. There's not much substance there.
Perhaps then we might find our respite from the tedious sequence of tea parties and balls. I rather think
Is this
that the
gonna
only reason
inspire
this man
her
writes
to-
about such things is because she is not an active participant in them.
True. She just got cooked by her best friend.
Once the new Lord Featherington arrives, we will be provided for.
Well, where is he? Why is he taking so long?
I tremble to think where he will send the rest of us if he has a mind. Cornwall, perhaps.
Cornwall?
Not Cornwall.
Unless you are all betrothed, by the time our cousin arrives to claim the Featherington estate, we should be at his mercy.
You could always sell the silverware. Dinner service should fetch a handsome price.
You guys are like the anti-Bridgertons, sort of. You're not as lucky as them.
Are you thinking of wearing that one?
No, these are for you, Bon. We have come to London to find your husband, not mine.
Yeah, but Kate, you're gonna marry Anthony. Is it Anthony or Anthony? This show is like the age-old saying, you find love when you're not looking for it. You know what I mean? But how the hell are you not gonna look for it when you know that that's when you find it, when you're not looking for it? Am I supposed to just pretend not to look for it? Look at me not looking for it. I'm still looking though out of the corner of my eye.
She will have your head when she learns of your secret morning ride. Are you certain no one saw you?
Yes, now, never mind her. The Dowager's not half as
He
frightened.
can use that against her. He can hold that against her, Anthony.
Is remember what it is you're looking for.
Someone charming. And handsome, of course. A prince or a duke.
Half a
It is
brain.
not a man's appearance or title that will woo you. It is his mind and spirit that will court you.
Oh, look at her. Down to her. Love it.
That is what you are looking for. That is the true love you deserve.
Her projecting. Classic rendition of Material Girl played? I forgot they did this. With the modern music. Modern-ish music. You know. That's brilliant, though. She looks like goddamn Jasmine from Aladdin. Kate.
The Earl of Gloucester. His wife recently died of
Influenza. That
He
sucks.
might make a particularly estimable addition to your dance card this evening, Miss Sharma.
Sorry, I paused. I'm watching another recap of season 1. But the Feathertons totally have a Cinderella vibe. If Penelope was Cinderella. And it totally makes sense that Anthony is the way he is, given the fact that he basically had to be the patriarch of the family after their dad died. Lord Bridgerton, I suppose would be his name. Anyway. Dude, Kate's the Simon of this season. There was so much sex in season 1. Bro, Penelope is the reason Colin broke up with the chick he was in love with. That's rough. I totally forgot that Anthony was in love with the opera singer. So he's heartbroken right now. Of course he's not looking for love.
There she is.
Clearly the tallest wig is, or the tallest hair means the one with the most status.
I hear you have made quite a journey to join us again after all these years, Lady Mary. If only you had extended the courtesy of offering your queen a final farewell before you left.
Queen is so petty. Yeah.
Even Daphne felt most apprehensive at her first official ball, and look how well her season turned out.
Come, sister. The cakes at these occasions are surprisingly good.
Aw, man. He seems like a nice guy. Gingers had it rough. They still have it rough in England. They had it way more rough back then, I suppose.
The season, the Viscount intends to find a wife.
You honestly just did that?
I believe I did.
Oh yeah, he's the most eligible bachelor.
Lady Mary was the incomparable of our season, till she fell in love with and married some kind of clerk, I hear. The two of them absconded to India thereafter.
But the man was no more than a common worker who already had a child.
This is a nice way to get into exposition.
If only every family could be as respectable as ours. Yes, Lady Featherington?
Feathers. I don't know why I can't say Featherington, but they're a mess.
Have you come unaccompanied? Or has the new heir finally come to manage this unsettled business of your daughter's
Who is this heir, actually?
Shaken to the bone, in fact, by grief.
You don't care.
Very dead.
He sucked.
I told you it was too soon. You told me you wished for the boy to be out of the house.
Our apologies, Lady Featherington. Do let us know when you are more settled.
That was the worst fake cry I've ever seen.
I know that gentleman.
Who?
The Viking?
Oh yeah. The relationship foreshadowing in this show is heavy-handed.
And from one of the town's most illustrious families, apparently hoping to marry this season, he may very...
Even this back and forth, you just know it's going to be these two.
He's very handsome.
Yes. I suppose he is.
Would you honour me with a dance?
Corning, you said.
The Baron Corning.
I would be delighted, my lord.
He's an incredibly tall person.
I recall a reading of Corning's family in my research.
It does not matter what you have and have not read.
Oh, wow.
It is unacceptable here for a lady to decline a dance with a gentleman unless she's already reserved by another. I see we have much to learn.
What would you guys do without Danbury? They really cast the most attractive people for this show.
Mama is already being insufferable.
At least you do not see fit to dress you as a sunflower. I declare a bee might mistake me for the real thing.
Miss Bridgerton.
Apologies, gentlemen. I regret to inform you that my dance card is already full.
I mean, I do vaguely remember this from season 1, but Eloise is very much like, she feels like a modern woman within this world. Just even the way she carries herself. That's the point. She's really applying her female gaze to our boy.
Bridgerton! Enjoy your freedom while it lasts. You two will soon submit to this ridiculous rigmarole of courtship. Squiring every eligible miss around town until you're barely able to see straight.
Oh no, she's gonna overhear this.
Simply pick the least objectionable and get her wed, bed, and bred. Then you can return to more pleasurable pursuits.
And more pleasurable partners. Love is the last thing I desire. But if my children are to be of good stock, then their mother must be of impeccable quality.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And yet the debutantes of London fall short at every turn.
Wooing the peace will be a different story indeed.
Oh, I shall have no problem there.
Why is she so affected by that, though? They barely know each other. No.
Someone there? I was wondering if we'd meet again.
So you might discern if my wit is acceptable, my manners genteel.
Mm.
I take issue with any man who views women merely as chattels and breeding stock.
None of that was meant for...
Viscount Bridgerton, yes?
Look, locker room talk's the thing. We don't mean it. It just happens. We want to be accepted by our fellow bros. So we say awful things.
Your character is as deficient as your horsemanship.
Nice.
Good night.
Nice. They're gonna hate each other. That's how it goes.
Have you seen your brother or your sister?
Well, they managed to escape you. Good for them.
I have no idea what this Bridgerton's name is.
I heard your awards. I look forward to meeting them. And I look forward to showing these other mamas how the game ought to be played. Miss Sharma, allow me to introduce you to...
My mama is already in our carriage. I'm sure Edwina's absence will only make her that much more desirable.
She's not wrong. If you can stand out and you're not like everybody else, that's gonna do it. But I get that's not why that wasn't why she wanted to leave. Kate's just sort of disgusted by all of this, and her interaction with our dude just sort of made all that worse.
Lokes, I thought you weren't coming.
My mistress apologised for the delay. This is for today.
It's like Little Blue Riding Hood.
Last edition's taken, yes. 800 copies, 5 pence a piece, sold for 8 pence.
This guy's gonna put this together, Penn, at some point. He's been looking for a mystery to solve all his life. Look at his face.
So, it's really a bargain.
He always wanted to be a detective.
There is nothing quite like the sweet-scented smell of success. It is clear the season won't be quite so fragrant for everyone. Yet I cannot be the only one wondering if this former
that's
capital
her.
R...
That's his old flame. And he throws it in the fire.
I shall not be hustled into making my selection, not by anyone. Bring me a list of the peerage.
She's totally gonna make her selection in this episode. Oh, this guy.
Oh, are those
Dude.
marbles? What fun.
Might I go and read now?
I hope that she ends up with him.
The younger one would do if the eldest just got out of the way.
The dynamic between those two is fun. I love that Kate's got a dog too.
Lest his dry musings leave a young lady wilting like a parched rose.
It is rather clever the way she uses plant puns to belittle.
That snort made that funnier.
She said you reminded her of Daphne, dearest.
I am not Daphne.
Yeah, we know. The show wants us to know that.
I think Eloise would make a brilliant diamond.
I could not agree more, Hyacinth.
I despise you.
Are you and the modiste still making a stitch?
But apparently not. Have you found a wife yet?
There were some lovely young ladies in attendance last night, were there not?
Lady Delilah can barely string a sentence together for nerves, and Miss Goodrum thought that Napoleon fights for the Spanish. And as for every other eager chit you pushed in my direction, I would happily never lay eyes on them again.
Anthony.
I'm looking for perfection, Mother, and you should be too. The woman I marry shall be the Viscountess Bridgerton, the lady of this household responsible for launching my sisters.
Yeah. This, I guess, in a way that he's not. It's about his entire family, which he's felt responsible
You will end
for
up
his entire
alone.
life.
With such expectations.
Damn it, they're talking to me. Talking to me. He's not going to end up alone, though. And I always tell people this. Don't lower your expectations. Why settle in life? I'm not saying seek perfection, but seek something magical. Not just in regards to romance or partners, but in regards to everything. And only settle when you're broke, hungry, and maybe facing fines or imprisonment. Not really, but when you have to, when you're backed into a corner.
Your books. Books can be worth something, can they not?
Do you not think so, Mama?
Pity.
Don't sell the books. I do not think so, Mama.
Colin Bridgerton is no more your friend than I am the next Catherine the Great. Now wipe your hands, lest someone should think you're a commoner.
She is Cinderella, sort of. Except Cinderella had slippers, and M's got a pen.
Did you plan to ride again tomorrow morning? I know all that goes on in my home.
Her little birdies told her. Her little birds are everywhere.
Correspondence. From your grandparents, the Sheffields. I wrote to them before you arrived.
They're Sheffields. Sheffield's a place.
I have no relation to them whatsoever, in fact.
Right.
Failing to tell me why you have truly come to London with your sister.
Okay, yeah.
I thought I was paying a kindness to an old friend.
And we are truly grateful for everything.
Then tell me what stipulations the Sheffields have apparently set down with regard to Edwina's match. Stipulations which, if met, will, I am guessing, guarantee great fortune for you and your family.
Edwina must marry an Englishman of nobility.
They could not control your mamma's marriage, so they mean to interfere with your sister.
Yep.
But our money ran low. We used the last for this very journey. The Sheffields have agreed to bestow a sizable dowry on my sister and to look after my mamma.
She feels as responsible for her family as Anthony does for his. They're a match made in 19th century England. Alternate reality England.
I've spent the last 8 years raising my sister to walk in the right way, to talk in the right way, to play the pianoforte just so.
It's kind of ironic because she spent all this time molding her sister into the perfect like match, which is obviously Anthony's not going to end up with her sister, but she would resent what he said because she's sort of been striving towards that in a weird way, but knows it's unattainable.
That is precisely why I shield her, because I know her. If she was made aware of the circumstances, she would marry quickly only to please us.
Yeah.
Edwina deserves a chance to find love without such a burden.
What I was saying before is, yeah, the burden, you know what I'm saying. Kate's circumstances feel more dire or impossible.
Might our queen finally extinguish the fevered speculation and bestow the highest of honors to a most fortunate young lady tonight?
I feel like she's going to make the diamond Kate, but I don't know why that's going to happen. Other than it would make the plot juicier, and Anthony would want Kate, probably. Because she would become the biggest challenge in his eyes. I gotta pause. I gotta take a piss.
The youngest one in particular, I think, will certainly make a match that will be the envy of the town.
Oh, okay, so Danbury's just gonna convince her to pick one of them, and she's gonna pick the one that she doesn't want them to pick. Or her to pick, sorry. It'll shake up the season.
We shall have our diamond tonight, and we shall have more.
Okay. Yeah.
After your elder sister's triumph, perhaps good fortune might run in the family.
He is a delightful ball, Your Majesty. Very diamondy. Though I must admit, I'm more of an emerald person myself.
The delivery on that line was like a comedian. A modern day comedian. Yeah.
Seems you have indeed come a long way since last year, Miss Bridgerton.
This actress has good comedic instincts. Like, I mentioned her body language before. She's really good at physical comedy, I bet. I don't remember how much she did last season in that regard, but I bet she's really good at, like, funny dancing, like silly dancing, you know?
We must leave. The Queen, she somehow managed to charm her. She seems to in fact like me.
I somehow managed to charm her. That's why she looked terrified.
Perhaps now you might stop spending time with insipid wallflowers all evening.
This Barbie.
I would rather die. How did you do it on your own, Pen?
Well, I don't share your difficulties, Elle. Insipid wallflower, remember?
That is not...
Perks of being one, not a wallflower.
Wallflower thing.
Perks of being one.
I always get the first glass of lemonade. I know who all the best dancers are just from watching. I can always tell when a suitor is serious about courtship just by how he looks when a young lady dances with another.
You do not have to pretend any longer, Pen. You like all of this.
Yeah, I knew that's what she was going to say, but it was like a moment of tension. Thought she knew.
There she is back, reporting on the same old things. Just another reminder of how trapped I am. Every time I walk into a ballroom, I know they are comparing me to Daphne. She was so good at being the diamond. I do not want to live up to that, but it does not make it any easier to know you are constantly disappointing people just by walking into a room.
No one truly notices me.
Yeah, at least they see you, Eloise.
When you're invisible, you can have all of the amusement you want without any of the expectations popularity brings. It frees you.
Huh. That's interesting. Would you rather disappoint people or there be no expectations at all? Be invisible? Because disappointment is in itself acknowledgement. If people expect a lot of you, then they, in a way, think quite a bit of you. It's kind of a compliment. But again, free if no one gives a shit.
Miss Edwina Sharma.
But that's a bit depressing. Oh, she did pick Edwina.
You look at her the way I look at a finished painting, brother.
Every man needs a muse, does he not?
Look, I'm just gonna say this because I've been thinking it as a lot as I've been watching this episode. Back in the day, women had to do everything to find a suitor. Honestly, I think nowadays, dudes kind of have to do this. Men kind of have to do this. They have to be the smartest, the funniest, have the biggest dowry. Not dowry, but most wealth. It's kind of backwards. I know people will disagree with that, but I think women have more options. I definitely think women definitely have more options than men nowadays. Even dating apps, a guy will get 100 matches, a girl will get 1,000. Sorry, you didn't want to hear anything.
Would you love to read?
Oh, never mind. He loves to read.
Do not seem discomposed.
This is strange. She's too young for
What he
you.
wants is most admirable.
Is she gonna be enamored with him?
Sadly, my father died years ago.
Oh.
Oh no, he's gonna relate to her. I thought this is what would happen with Kate. What the hell? She's look.
I see you've met
he
Miss
didn't
Edwina.
realize.
This is
Her sister.
Would you join me in the retiring room, sister?
This is weird.
You are not to go near that man, do you
Oh
understand?
no, now she's gonna want to go near him even more.
She is a lovely diamond, dearest.
Indeed. She is who I shall marry.
She's like, how old is she? Did we find that out?
What is all this?
Oh, the feathers. Yeah. There's always shit on their doorstep.
the new Lord Featherington.
Featherington.
Lady Featherington.
I thought it was Michael Cera for a second.
I thought the air was ugly.
You must mean my father. Well, he died.
Oh, okay. This is their cousin.
Is the entire practice of naming a diamond not, well, rather ridiculous? Should a woman not be valued for so much more than her
Yeah.
dancing skills,
She's right. Her Eloise is her audience.
her true accomplishments?
What do you think, Eloise? I love it.
Yeah. It's interesting that Penelope is really kind of just doing this for the approval of her best friend. It's obviously also cathartic for her, but
It seems she will need to do more for me this season than simply sparkle.
and I love how it influences the queen. The pen is mightier than the sword, you know, in memory of Mark. Who is that? It's really a testament to the power of journalism, even though it's not really journalism. It's more a testament to the power of headlines and clickbait, gossip columns, smut, social media, sensationalism. It's kind of like how this this is a terrible reference, but it's kind of how like Call Her Daddy was all smut at the beginning, and now what's her face? Alex Cooper has sort of transitioned to content that's more about substance. It's the same thing that Lady Whistledown's doing. Sorry, what did it say in memory of, though? I want to shout out that guy's name. Someone died, obviously. That sucks. It's crazy, though, because Penelope would have no influence whatsoever if she just said these things as herself. You write under a pen name and get enough readers or followers, all of a sudden your words have meaning, irrespective of your status. I think Stephen King said this once, or maybe this just gets attributed to him. But he said, if you want to scare a reader, put the monster in the closet, because then it allows their imagination to run wild. Lady Whistledown is this enigmatic figure that the reader is allowed to imagine as the authority, the most like impressive individual that you can imagine, the one with all the status. But if you attached that name to Penelope, the power of Lady Whistledown would more or less lose its allure. It's a great way to have fun with the era while also commenting on timeless themes like class, you know, society and politics, status, all sorts of stuff, gender. Mark Filcher was a British hairstylist and makeup artist. Died October 3rd, 2021. Shout out Mark. He won an Emmy for Bridgerton. Is there a post-credit scene? Alright, I don't know if I'll keep watching. We'll see what happens with this video, this footage. But for now, that's all I have for this one. Big love to everyone who was bored enough to join me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drive me off this platform if you must. Otherwise, like, subscribe, dislike for cathartic reasons. Drink water, stay young, and remember, don't be an idiot. Be a buffoon. Peace.